And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of the Best Damn Podcasts. We're here interviewing Derek Bloody F. Mess Moody, with a 40-year repertoire of music. My God, that is impressive.
Right.
I started listening to your music when we got in touch. I think it was back in December. And man, I'm telling you, that's some damn good music. I'm ashamed I haven't heard of you since then. There's a lot of those songs that you've done that are really, really good. Skeletons has to be my favorite. I like that dark feel, but yeah, also still that kind of 80s feel of like it's almost like kind of like a D. Snyder or a Def Leppard, but it's so much better. It's like this is really good. And there's a lot of good songs on the new album that I liked pretty well too. Like "Baby Please Don't Go" was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
that was
my collaboration with Jordan Longmire. Yeah, man, that turned out pretty well.
That did turn out pretty good. And then "Dark Daze" was also really good. I like that one.
That was with Sammy Town from Fang. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. And "Chasing the Night," that's the best version. That blew the Ramones version out of the water for me. That was like, okay, the Ramones version's good. This one's better. I like this one. Nothing else. That was a great song.
Thank you, man. That's I recorded that one in Scotland last fall. September 2023, 22.
Wow. So you recorded that one back in Scotland.
Yes, and that features Gordon Anthony on all the music. He's the guy that plays guitar for the band Holocaust. They wrote "In the Small Hours" that Metallica covered.
Wow, nice. So let's start from the beginning. I mean, obviously, there's 40 years here of just
making me feel old.
I'm not trying to make it. Well, hey, you know what? I can tell you this: you're like a fine wine. You're like a fine wine. You get better with age. So let's start from the beginning. You're from Peoria.
I am.
What inspired you to get into writing such incredible music?
Well, first of all, thanks for the compliment. Second of all, Peoria itself inspired me because there's not much there besides churches, bars, and strip clubs.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's not wrong.
No,
of course, some people would say, "What's wrong with that?" As long as you got the bars and the strip clubs, you got, and if you're into church, they're open on Sunday too. Hey,
yeah,
right.
But no, it was just a very boring place. The Midwest itself is mostly concrete and cornfields.
Yeah.
And but the thing about the Midwest is it's got some of the most passionate rock and roll fans on the planet, and some of the best rock and roll bands, punk and rock, have come from the Midwest. So it inspires you to be a big fan of music because it gives you something to do in that wasteland, and it inspires you to do music because it gives you something to do in that wasteland.
Right, like Tyler, you heard of the band Mudvayne, right?
Oh yes, 100%.
They came from Peoria.
Yep, they came from Peoria too.
So did Richard Pryor.
Oh,
Dan Fogelberg, Sam Kinison.
Yeah,
Sam Kinison. I didn't know Sam Kinison was from Peoria.
Sam Kinison was from East Peoria, right?
Yeah, and they lived in the housing projects of Peoria down in the Harrison Homes, and then I think he was actually born in a different place, but then moved there at a young age, and his father had a church and whatnot.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know.
Sam Kinison was actually a preacher's kid, so.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kinison and Pryor for sure, man.
Right.
Pryor and Kinison, those are two of my favorite comedians. Just Kinison, I mean, everybody says oh, Sam Kinison, all he did was yell. If you actually listen to the context and some of his other jokes without him, he's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny. He's super funny.
Oh yeah, he is. And I'm just that amazing. I did not know he was from Peoria. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting town, but let's not forget the great Willie York. He's the biggest star from Peoria.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody knows a Willie.
Yes.
So, what inspired you to start? What was your first steps to getting into the music? Obviously, everybody starts at the beginning, whether it's they pick up a guitar, drum, or they start singing it. What was your first?
It started out in about third grade when I was taught poetry. And so I was always a writer, and I would just write notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of poetry, lyrics, writings, drawings, cartoons. I used to draw, comic books, underground comics. And then that led into writing more rock and roll sort of like lyrics. And then my buddy got a bass, and I thought, well, I'm definitely not going to take the time to be disciplined enough to learn an instrument, so I'll go ahead and sing. And my mother bought me for Christmas that year that my buddy got a bass and a little practice amp, and I got to get a microphone and a mic stand. And that's what started in 1980.
1980 is when you started singing.
That was my first band. Yeah, I started my first band. It was in high school, and we didn't do gigs or anything, but we played, my buddy's basement, doing like Rolling Stones and different covers and stuff. The Who.
Oh yeah. What was the name of that band back then?
We never did have a name. We never named it. It was just a band of friends that jammed. And then 3 years later, I joined my first proper band that played out and did, released music. So that's why I decided to make that my beginning of my career 40 years ago. But it's really 43 years ago.
43 years. Wow, that's still even impressive. Tim Givens, who's a member of our cast, he's also listening. He said, I've done the same thing with the stories and poems and lyrics from my early 20s to late 20s. I recently found them and been reading back through it all. And Adam, who is one of our other listeners, he's just joined in. So he says hello.
Yeah. I got to show my T-shirt off. The Dicks.
Here, let me bring this up so you sew it up proper. There you go. The Dicks hate the police.
Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, so let's go ahead and skip forward. What was your first album?
My first album was released in 1990. Sixth Grade Field Trip is the title.
So you went from 1980 to 1990 was your first album, 10 years. That's pretty impressive. I mean, for somebody who just started out in like a basement with a small band, they didn't even have a name, and then all of a sudden, here's your first album. That's pretty cool.
But the thing is, before that, though, we released a lot of cassettes because that's when cassettes were very popular. So we would do like full-on demos and records on cassettes. And I was on the first thing I ever did before I even was in a band was appeared on a cassette out of Connecticut. And it was a cassette compilation called Earthworm Tunnels. And I had 4 or 5, maybe 6 tracks of spoken word poetry that I'd done. And then maybe that same year I got in my first band, and then released my first record in, I think, 88. It was my first 7-inch record. And the first CD came out in 86, I believe.
Right.
So there was a lot of stuff coming out before the first album is my point.
Right. So that was like the stepping into the pool, like tiptoeing in, seeing, do I like this? Do it. And then eventually when you got the taste for it, you're like, all right, Cannonball, I'm going in on this.
Oh, yeah. I told people back in the day when I was 18, you guys like to dress up on weekends and look funny, but I'll be doing this shit long after you go to college and or have your families and become yuppies or whatever, investment bankers or insurance salesmen. And here I am, 58 years old, and I'm still rocking, and I'm still exactly how I was, minus the drugs and alcohol, kids, as I smoke my pot.
Hey, you know what? It's 10 times healthier than what I smoke. I know he does the gummies. I do the gummies. Go for it, man. It's all yours.
Yeah, it's not crack.
No. So when you got into your first big album, like when did it set in? Like, holy shit, I've actually hit something that's really good. I should keep going.
Well, the thing that's kind of bittersweet, bro, because I found myself with a record label, Black and Blue Records at the time, and I found myself with an album and a good band, but I didn't have any idea how to record the album, and I thought I did. I thought I was Mr. Know-It-All. I'm like, I'll produce this record. Fuck you guys. People tried to help me. I said, no, thanks, I'll do it. And then when I thought the sound was good, I was like, we're good, we're fine. And when the record came out, I was like, oh my God, this fucking sucks. So I absolutely hate my first album. It's the worst. It's a common story among rockers, but I do like 2 or 3 of my other 10, maybe 4 or 5 of them. But the first one, I just can't even stand it, man. But a lot of people say it's their very favorite, so no disrespect to those people.
Right.
So a lot of people say the first album, even though you're not too fond of it, they say like that's my favorite album. Or
it's sentimental. We were all coming of age, and so that when it came out in Peoria, there was no like bad boy punk rock kind of guys. There was bands, there was straight edge, and there was skaters and community, but there wasn't like anybody making people write like articles in the paper going, what the fuck's this guy up to? Or what is he?
Yeah.
Who's this crazy bastard? And we definitely made people scratch their heads, and question a lot of things and learned a lot of good and bad things along the way.
I see. So your first album drops, and obviously after that, you actually April asked a question for me that I was getting ready to ask you. Would you remaster it if you could?
Well, the thing is, the vocals suck, so I'd have to do the vocals over. I didn't learn how to sing properly until the second album. Kind of like in 1995 when I quit punk rock in 1995, and I started an outlaw country band, and I decided to put out a record before I even, sang country ever. So I went and got this great band, did what I thought was great vocals, and then later, after I joined an actual band and learned how to literally sing, I was like, God, this band's great. Too bad the singer sucks. So, sometimes you learn in real time, man. And unfortunately, if you're an artist, you'll have to live with that warts and all blemish for the rest of your life. And as artists, we'll beat ourselves up forever for that kind of shit. And other people are going, "Oh, this is great."
I know that feeling because
you know what I mean.
I did an album and I'm like, it's okay, but it's not the greatest.
Yeah, if I could do the first one over, I would. If somebody said, "Hey, man, we're going to record all the songs, lay them out, you come in and do the vocals," I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat. I'd love to have 6th grade field trip done for real, or the way it should have been done the first time. That'd be fun.
So you're not against the idea of just redoing it, where like somebody did the music idea. And I think
that's a great fucking idea because I own all the songs. The label owns that version, so I can't re-release it if I wanted to, but I can certainly re-record the songs. So that's a good idea, man. That's a really good idea. I never thought of doing that because I've always hated that album. I'd love to do it again and then resell it.
I actually do know a few bands that actually did that because they redid them and they called it something different, like revisited or something like that.
Revised or something.
Revised, yeah. Or where they actually took it and then did something a little bit different on each song to
right, like a revision or a revival album or something like that. I think, with the experience you got now compared to the first, when you released your first album, I think that would be a killer album for you. I know you're talking about in 40 years, this last album you're saying is your last album.
Well, I'm not done with music. I just don't think the way the world's going, and this is going to sound very cryptic, and it probably should, the world's getting pretty fucking dark, man. There's no denying it. And I've done my homework, and I'm not going to get into like philosophy and metaphysics or religion or any of that stuff. But I'll tell you this, man, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So my personal belief system is as such that it would be futile for me to plan an album that might not come out for another few years, because I don't even know if if we'll still be up on the grid or with my opinions, what I believe. So it'd be futile to even plan anything like that. So this, in my mind, is my last full length. But in the meantime, until the shit hits the fan, I will continue doing radio or music videos or projects.
Right. Now you are also the host of a radio show, The Church of Rock, correct?
Yes, with Sister Tracy on Sunday nights.
You want to talk? How'd you get that going?
You know what? I got into my whole life. I wanted to be a DJ, and I would sit in my room pretending to be a DJ and think about being a DJ. And then probably in 1998, 99, I moved into a home. Turns out the landlord, it was the general manager of the biggest rock station in Central Illinois, which was Rock 106 Radio, WWCT, which is still there under a different moniker. But WWCT was huge, like 50,000 watt station. You could hear it practically from St. Louis to Chicago. And that's all of a sudden Wayne realized, hey, he was like renting this house to me. And one day we were talking about music and he goes, wait a minute, what music do? You said you were a singer? I go, yeah, Bloody Mess. He goes, wait a minute, I fucking hate you because I've never liked you. I don't like all the articles I read about you in the paper. I don't like what you stand for, but I love you, my tenant, because he knew my real name and my family. He's like, I love you, but I hate Bloody. I really do. So he goes, but you're a natural. Let's get you on radio. So he said, you can't use the name Bloody Mess. You can't use your real name either because of stalkers or whatever. So I ended up interning for a friend of mine on the radio for about a month. And then one day they said, hey, put him on the radio, put Bloody on for like an hour. So they put me on the radio and I totally fucked up. I pressed the wrong button. The station went down. I said like a cuss word, like everything went berserk. They gave me one more try. and I did it flawless. And they said, this guy's a natural. Let's just give him a gig. And they hired me on the spot to be the midnight guy 7 nights a week, midnight to 6 a.m.
There you go.
After about 3 months, they said, you know, radio is a vast wasteland on Sunday nights. So you need to create something that will give people a reason to tune into radio. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah, you know, play stuff that people do not play, like Tiny Tim, the Bay City Rollers, like weird shit that's like, that you like, that's eccentric, and mix it all up with some like funny shit, like Dr. Demento style.
Right.
That's how it started almost 25 years ago.
And you actually did a song with the son of one of the members of the Bay City Rollers, correct?
I just did on the brand new album. Jordan Longmire and I did. He's actually on 3 songs on my album.
Oh, really?
He's co-lead singer of Baby Please Don't Go, which is a music video on YouTube. And then we also did a song called Rock and Roll Therapy, where Jordan does some lead vocals on that song. And if you listen close, you'll hear his lead vocal parts. And then we did a song called Michael Monroe, which is a tribute to a Hanoi rock singer. And he's amongst 3 other people that are like legends that are singing the gang vocal style, like a chorus, you know?
Right. Would you like to play Baby Please Don't Go? So our audience, because a lot of people here, they're wanting to hear, they're wanting to know like what kind of music you write and your style of music. Would you like we have your permission since you own the copyright. YouTube and Facebook is so messed up with this stuff. We get copyright claims for music we use for the intro of our show, and it's public domain.
Yeah, bro. I've been trying to post stuff on my YouTube channel, and I'm hitting so many brick walls.
Yeah, YouTube is just so like it's like anal about that stuff. I don't know why it does that, but we have your permission to play one of your songs. All right, there you go.
You can play as many songs as you like.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, here is from Bloody F Mess off their new album. It's Bloody F Mess and Jordan Longmire. Did I get that name right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to make sure. Here is Baby Please Don't Go. And this is a good one, trust me.
One, two.
Please don't go down to New Orleans. You know I love you so, baby. Please don't go. All right, I'll be your dog. I'll be your dog. Be your dog. Shoot me down there, make you walk alone, baby. Please don't go. All right, well your man done gone. Well your man done gone. Your man done gone, let the county farmers got the shackles on, baby, please don't go. All right. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Please don't go down to New Orleans. Said I love you so, baby, please don't go. Well, you might not talk. You might not talk. You might not talk at the county farm. You got the shackles on, baby, please don't go. Midnight train, taking nowhere train. Well, that midnight train, and I'm crying. So my baby's leaving, yeah. That midnight train, and I'm crying. Oh, I'm crying. You hear me, baby? To the land down low, to the land down low. Love, baby, all night long. I said I love you so, baby, please don't go. All right. Well, I'll be your dog. Well, I'll be your dog. Be your dog. Kiss you way down there. Make you walk along, baby, please don't go. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
was great.
You know, thank you guys. That was Dave Moe on guitar and bass, and that guy is like a god to me. And Alex Moore on drums. Alex is in Austin, Texas, and Dave is in Peoria, Illinois.
So Dave is still in Peoria, and what was the other gentleman's name again?
Alex Moore.
Alex Moore is in Austin, Texas. That song, when I first booted that up and started listening to it, I'm sitting there, I'm doing the dishes, I'm like, holy shit, this music is slapping so hard. It's great. I love it's that perfect style of feel of music that I love.
Yeah, thank you, man. Dave Moe is the man. Well, both those guys, Alex Moore and Jordan Longmire, too. Come on, man. Woo, what a combo. Those vocal. That was the first time Jordan had ever stepped foot in the studio, man.
Really?
Yeah.
He seemed like he'd done it before from just the way he's playing and all that.
Well, no, I meant Jordan on vocals. He had never sang in his life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he did a terrific job.
That first time in the studio, man. Hey, do it again. You were your natural, in my opinion. So, what is the inspiration for a lot of your music? What inspires you to write and produce this kind of music, like the lyrics and the vocals and just the music in general?
Well, you have to have something to do with your energy. Everybody has a hobby. Some people have golf, you know. Some people will solely focus on their children or family. Some people have, you know, Tai Chi or, you know, meditation or whatever. Mine's just rock and roll. It always has been. And, you know, it's just what I do. And I like to write and then find musicians that like to put music to my words and trust me to do that. Like, hey, here's a song. Please, you know, give it life now. Title it and let's do this shit, you know.
So you just like sit down one day, you start writing out the music, and you're like, I need to find someone to help me put this music to paper, from paper to eardrums, and that's how it goes?
Well, no, Dave Moe actually sent me an album. I said, I'm doing an album, and I'm going to have all collaborations with each song being a different person. And he's like, he sent me an email file that said, a bloody baker's dozen, and there was 13 songs ready to go with no lyrics or titles, but all the music was all recorded, all completely different songs, and they're all killer. And so I picked 6 of those from that, and then he did Baby Please Don't Go as a favor to me and Jordan Longmire. It was a custom job. And so people usually send me the lyrics and then or music, and then I write my words around their music. So because I'm not a musician, I just write lyrics.
Right. Do you ever play your music on your radio show?
Yes, I do about a song a week. I have a segment called Story Time with the Reverend, and I do like a little story about one of my songs from my career. And each week I've been playing a new track from the new album because it's fun. A couple minutes a week, I get to play something from my new record. It's a volunteer station, community radio. So it's
Right.
at least,
By the way, if anybody wants to listen to Derek live on the Church of Rock, you can listen here at www.kskq.org. And you can also listen on 89.5 FM or 94.1 FM in Brandon, Oregon, correct?
And we're also in Bandon, Oregon on KBOG radio. Everything else was perfect, bro.
All right. I'm sorry. I tried.
No, he did perfect. Thank you. Everything he said is perfect. Sunday nights, kskq.org and KBOG in Bandon, Oregon.
You got to excuse him sometimes because he's a millennial. So
No.
Well, what year do the millennials cut off? What's the cutoff dates?
Oh, this guy knows everything about it because it's a running joke on the show.
it's usually about 1980 to 95.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say this. I did not live a millennial lifestyle. We didn't have internet till I was like in high school. And the weekends consisted of go mow the lawn, and then we'll take you to the video store and you get a video and a video game, and that's it. So that I had to work for my keep.
There you go, bro.
So,
you like AC/DC. I can see your shirt. You got good taste in rock and roll.
I love AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith. I've been on a Van Halen kick lately. I love some old Van Halen.
Oh, man. Dude, Fair Warning. Fair Warning is my favorite.
Oh yeah, my favorite Van Halen song of all time has got to be Dreams. Just that feel is so good, and Jump is good. Hot for Teacher, and of course Panama. You can rarely find a Van Halen. It's like AC/DC. You can rarely find a Van Halen song that you just don't like. It's like you hear one of them and you're like, oh, okay, Hot for Teacher. I'll listen to it. The next thing you know, you're into the song.
There you go.
So what was the first album that hit big for you? What was the biggest album you've had?
My albums, the only time we got like radio attention, really, like mainstream radio airplay, was probably about 99, the year 2000, with the band called The Veins. And we had a song called My Black Little Heart.
I remember that.
That's on YouTube. You can find that on there. There's a video for it too, a music video. But that one got a lot of radio airplay in about 17 stations across the country in the year 1999 and 2000. And that's the same. At the time they signed Mudvayne, their Epic Records was calling. Somebody from Wisconsin was one of their scouts, had called me during the overnight shift on the radio show. And he's like, hey, by the way, we're scouting your band, The Veins. And I'm like, really? Epic Records is scouting my band? He's like, yes. Really? And he goes, we don't know how to market you. He goes, you're kind of like a cross between Iggy Pop and Marilyn Manson. I'm like, what a trip, man. And this guy was for real. Because they had just signed Mudvayne. And I was like, wow. But anyway, I'm getting off track now.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So that would be your biggest. Your biggest album and your biggest song was that one.
Yeah,
right?
I never really achieved. I never tried to achieve commercial success. It was never ever a dream. I even have an album called Anti-Rockstar because when Epic Records came calling, I quit my band. I didn't want to what if they would have signed me? What if? It means you're pulled away from your family, your kids, all that. I just had a little kid like a few years prior that was like 5, that was like the light of my life, who still is, my daughter. And I was like, man, that would suck to go on the road because those guys are gone now. And they grew up without their father around. It's like Gary Richrath of REO Speedwagon from Peoria, East Peoria. They never got to see the dad, Gary's son, and he was always a hometown hero, except to some of his own family that he never got to see.
And that's good on you for not letting the fame. I think. So
what I'm saying to you is, if you're talking about success in terms of like commercial success, that's the only one that got a lot of radio airplay. But we did a single called O.J. Simpson during the O.J. Simpson thing that was going on. We did it right during all of it, and we got on a lot of like radio shows across the country. And that's pretty funny. I forget what year that was.
You did a song called O.J. Simpson during the O.J. Okay, you are.
Bloody Mess on the Scabs, 1988 or 9 or something, whatever year that was.
Okay, you are officially now, in my eyes, a badass to drop a song like that during the O.J. Simpson trial where everybody's watching it, and you're just like, Let's do a song called O.J. Simpson. Man.
Oh yeah. Well, we did it to get national attention, and we did because back then we were like really good at getting attention because it was a shock rock band and stuff. So.
Right. See if I can find. Oh, here it is on Anti-Rockstar number 33, O.J. Simpson.
Are you gonna play some?
Do you mind if I play some, sir?
I could care less. If you want to play some.
Do I have? I gotta wait for the ad to play. But do I have?
You got my explicit permission to play "Bloody Mess in the Scabs," O.J. Simpson.
All right, here we go. Here is off of the Anti-Rockstar album. This is a ways back. I gotta look up when the O.J. Simpson trial actually was. This is Bloody F Mess, track 33, O.J. Simpson. I gotta hear this.
O.J. Simpson was a man with a plan. O.J. Simpson was a man who was mad. O.J. Simpson sitting in jail. O.J. Simpson ain't got no bail. O.J. Watching O.J. Simpson on CNN. Turn the channel, there he is again. It's been blackhead on my TV screen. An innocent man for the world to see. O.J. 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 Can I have your autograph? Can I use your house till you get back? O.J. was on a suicide watch. Leave him alone, he knows what he wants. O.J. O.J. O.J.
Great.
That is awesome. That was hilarious. You, by the way, for anybody who can't remember, the O.J. Simpson trial was 94 to 95, and
yeah, we literally recorded that like right when he just got popped, and they just put him in jail, and it was all over the news on every channel. We recorded it and quickly sent it out to all of the media, and that's what that is. It was a joke recording we did for fun.
You can't tell me that some radio station didn't hear that and say, "Oh, dude, we gotta play this."
Oh, we got tons of morning shows that called us and interviewed us, and we've got lots of recordings that we later issued on other records of us on different morning shows, which were really funny in themselves. So yeah, it was pretty good. We got lots of reaction.
What? That's just fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
That was pretty good.
You release a song called O.J. Simpson like immediately. I'm sitting there because I remember watching the news when he got arrested.
Yeah,
and I'm like, is this song matches up with what I remember? It's like somebody needs to do a music video with like clips from the trial, the police chase, the mug shot. It's like, wow.
Well, imagine the very next day if you turn the radio on and you heard that song, you'd be like, ah ha ha, some punk band's taking advantage of this, right? And writing a song about O.J. You know. It was, like I said, 93, I guess, yeah.
Are they taking
94.
advantage of it, or are they being genius about it? Because that song was pretty damn good too.
Thanks, man.
Right.
It was a whole batch of different people back then recording and doing a lot of fun recordings like that.
Right. So, all right. So your newest album, there is a physical copy.
Yes, it's on CD right now, and the vinyl is going to be out in about 2 months. So I'm excited about that.
Right. Here, I actually saw this today on your Facebook page. The CDs are in stock at Shandy's Music and More. That's in, I believe, Peoria.
That's in Cuba, Illinois.
I'm sorry.
It's like about an hour away. That's one place I have not been yet, and I've heard very good reviews on that place. So
Yeah, Shandy's.
I've got to go there because I heard they specialize more in the metal and punk stuff than the other stuff. So I was like, I got to go to that place.
Yeah, Shandy's Music is the place, man. Also, North Street Records in Bloomington or Normal, Illinois, got them too.
Oh,
Shout out to those two places, obviously.
You know, if you're going to put it at Younger Than Yesterday at all?
You know what? I talked to Craig Moore last week, but he was going to to see a doctor down in Arkansas last week. So he said, yes, he's going to have him in there, but he doesn't have him yet.
Okay, right on. I mean, I go to North Street quite a bit, but
nice.
Sometimes I go to Younger Than Yesterday. So
yeah, shout out to Craig Moore. Has been doing the record business a long time, ever since I was a wee lad.
This is not real. This is a Tyler. This place I just mentioned, Younger Than Yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so packed. You have to breathe in and hold in. Well, for me anyway, breathe in and hold your stomach just to walk around the place. It's that full of records, CDs, tapes, 8-tracks.
Ooh, really?
Just, and that's not even half of what he has, because he has a whole back store that he hasn't even gone through yet that he still has.
Right.
That's how big that, even though it's a small place, that's how much stuff he has.
Wow.
You can go there every single day and you can see something different every time. That's how great this place is. And
treasures galore.
Right.
Well, the whole place sounds like it's a treasure trove. I mean,
yeah, my daughter used to go in there and play their Kiss pinball machine back in the old days, like what it was called.
I think that's still there.
Yeah, is it really? Yeah. She used to go there, and he'd bring like a little step stool out for her, and she would real little, like 4 or 5, and she would just kill on pinball.
Right,
Kiss pinball machine there.
Have you ever tried Penny Lane in Springfield?
I haven't been there for years. They're still open, huh?
They're still open, yeah. They're still doing good.
They have been around since the 80s then that I know of. Crazy.
They I think they bought the building next door. I think they're looking to expand because I think there was what was it, Mike? It was like a tattoo parlor or piercing parlor, and I think they're buying it or else they own it now or something like that. But they're talking about expanding. So
I know there's Dumb Records in Springfield.
Yeah, there's Dumb Records in Springfield, yeah.
Right next to my friend. Both of them are my friends. There's the tattoo shop right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Good something. I can't remember offhand. But anyway, yeah. Both are pretty good places. I've been to both of them before. So
you can't believe Penny Lane's still around. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're still the day Penny Lane shuts down. I've been to Penny Lane since I was in junior high. Since I learned to drive, I went there and I'm like, oh, this place is awesome. I love this place. The day they shut down is the day the world can officially end for me. That's it. That's
all the good counterculture stuff.
Yep, all the good counterculture stuff. It's like, that's it. It's gone. I got to move.
I mean, there's so many great record areas. Like you mentioned, North Street Records. You also got Mother Murphy's, which at one time had a bunch of records and stuff. So
also there's a shout out to Acme Comics in Peoria too.
Acme Comics, that's a good one. Yeah,
that's another great place. There's a bunch of great places. So I mean, that you can put it in that would sell it. So
Illinois might be known for like Concrete, Corn, and Lincoln, but if you look hard enough, you can really find some hidden gems. You really can.
Oh, like I say, it's a music hotbed. There's so much love for music in the Midwest. Everybody I know is a passionate music fanatic there, like vinyl collectors and like Bob Gordon at the comic book store, comic book collectors, you know, I was into all that stuff too. And it's the people are cool. I was just talking culture wise. Growing up, there wasn't much to do, so you had to like make your own thing, and music was something we were able to create, you know, and give us a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of hidden gems, here's one right here. Hey! I found your music. You introduced me to your music. I'm a fan now. What can I say? I love your music.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
I need to get me a physical copy of that CD for sure.
Okay, well, yeah, man. Shoot me your address and stuff, and then just play it sometimes.
So, do you want to play another song off your new album?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. All
right, let's do this. This one here is one of my favorites as well. This one's really good too. This is Rock and Roll Therapy, and I gotta say, when this song was playing, I was into it. So here it is. It's Bloody F Mess, Rock and Roll Therapy off his new album, Dark Daze and Unfazed.
Give me rock and roll therapy. and roll therapy. Rock and roll therapy. Rock and roll therapy. Rock and roll therapy. Rock and roll therapy.
Woo!
And I agree with Skeletor. I need this kind of therapy for sure. That is good therapy.
Well, you know what, dude? That's Dave Moe on guitar, bass, and drums. And that's the Don Bowles from the Germs on backing vocals. Jordan Longmire doing some lead vocals. Lydia Pawleski, Tracy McLeod from the Church of Rock radio show and Latitude 42. And I think Bill Meisner from Bloody Mess and the Scabs, too, singing on that one. Crazy chorus.
Jordan Longmire himself is actually in the chat room. He's sharing links to everybody. Link to the Bloody F Mess page above. Here's those links here.
Thank you, bro.
Facebook page. So he's definitely here supporting you.
My brother.
So what do you do in your free time? What's out when you're done doing the music and you're done, like you're done for the day? What's some of the things you like to do? Obviously, that's a given. I think we're all three of us here are stoners for sure.
Oh, there's other things? I'm kidding. No, no, I'm joking, man. I pretty much spend most of my time trying to make enough money to live. Like most people, where I live at is like a very expensive mountain town, and it's like really awesome here, but it's super expensive. So I spend most of my time working, hustling, doing what I have to do to like sales, doing work, little side jobs on farms, whatever. Or music. Right now I'm making money off the CD, but we have the vinyl album coming out, which I'm hoping we can sell in like a week and, pay the rent for a month or two and boom. Just I'm hustling, man, and other than that, there's nature. I got nature. There's so much nature around me that we're really into that, So we're outside of nature a lot, I like to go out walking in the mountains or the woods, and me and the dog, me and my wife, me and my dog and the wife. Any combination thereof. But rock and roll, I'm into music. I spend the week listening to lots of music, writing music. I got a project going on right now with West Beach of the ex-Plasmatics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're doing a Plasmatics tribute to the Plasmatics and Wendy O. I think it's 4 Plasmatics songs and 1 original or 2 originals. And it's something we're working on now, but I got the list of the Plasmatic songs we're doing, so I'm excited about that. So, and it's featuring nothing but Plasmatics, ex-Plasmatics, and or Wendy O. Williams band members. That's the interesting thing. So
nice.
I'm excited.
That sounds pretty good.
That one's going to be good right there.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the Veins and I recorded a Plasmatics cover called the Doom Song, which is very powerful, and it's on the YouTube. And then also the Bloody Mess and the Scabs recorded Bloody Mess and the Scabs did Sex Junkie, which was on the Hungover and Stoned album, both Plasmatics covers. So, and then in 2003, West Beach from the Plasmatics and I wrote a song together called Rock and Roll Scallywag, and there's a music video for that's on the YouTube as well. So there's 3 Plasmatics connections before this,
And you said it's the one is called the Dune, and they're all on YouTube. The one's called the Dune Song?
DOOM. Yeah, the Doom Song.
The Doom Song, like the video game.
Yeah, DOOM, and it's Bloody in the Veins. And it was just like a one-off recording we did to be on a Plasmatics tribute back then, which never happened. But in the meantime, I've become friends with quite a few of the ex-Plasmatics, and I've weaseled my way into like being the vocalist for this project, and it's going to be so much fun, man.
See, I'm trying to look it up, and all I'm getting is the video game Doom, 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 Doom. So,
oh, you mean on YouTube or something?
Yeah, on YouTube. So I was going to play it, see if we can get a little sample of what it would be like when you do this plasma.
Just type Bloody Mess Doom Song.
Type bloody what?
Bloody Mess and the Veins, VAYNES. You'll find it.
VAYNES.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. I just had it. So. Let's get this one. Let's be the next one to listen to.
You need rock and roll therapy.
Yeah, that is That is a good one. This song's 11 minutes. Wow.
No. Doom song should just be 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or 5.
I just had it a minute ago. Let's see. Sorry, I am looking for it. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking for it, but I'm finding like.
You could always play a song from the new album if you'd like. In the meantime,
yeah, I think we should play a new album. I'll look for that one while we're playing a new song from the new album. So let's what's the other one I like? That is. Where is Mother Under My Wheel? Where is that? There it is. I like this one too.
Now Lisa Leathers. Lisa Leathers is the person that wrote this song originally and recorded it. And I got together and said, let's do a collaboration and make a modern day version of this. And it's a classic from Central Illinois. So shout out to Lisa Leathers and Jeff Eaton on guitar.
All right. Well, here it is off his new album. This is Mother Under My Wheel. I like this one. This is my favorite, I think. Under my wheel. Under my wheel. Under my wheel. That is a great song. I love that one.
Thank you, man.
I'm not finding the one with the Doom song. So sorry, I can't find that one.
We tried.
Yeah, YouTube is just a maze. It's a rabbit hole. Literally, you got to go down to find this, find that.
Well, on the new album, I did a song with 2 of the former Plasmatics. It's a song called Wax Fruit with Wes Beach on guitar and bass. He was with the Wendy O. Williams on every album she ever did, every Plasmatics and Wendy O. album. And the drummer from the Coup d'Etat album on, T.C. Tolliver, he's on the drums on the track Wax Fruit on the new album as well.
Right. Let's see. So, what would you say some of your favorite music groups? I mean, obviously, we were talking about them a little bit earlier. Obviously, mine's AC/DC, Van Halen. I like classic rock. What would you say is some of your favorite bands?
Definitely Hanoi Rocks, the Dead Boys, Iggy Pop, The Doors, the Stooges. Gosh, I have so many people that I love. The Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics. Mm-hmm. I have so many, that I could name. I'm just like such a rock and roll fanatic, really. But yeah, those are some of my favorite bands.
What about you, 420? What's
the
yours?
The Ramones, of course.
I want to play that next one, that song next. That is between that one and Mother Under My Wheel and Rock and Roll Therapy.
Oh yeah, Motorhead too. Motorhead.
Oh, I love Motorhead. I miss Remy.
Because you were saying Wendy-O, and I remember the only one I remember is the one she did with Motorhead, Jailbait, I think it's called.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that video was a great one.
There was a video too, right?
Yeah, the video.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
God, I miss Remy. He was really good.
Yes, Lemmy. Long live the Lemster.
Yeah. When he died, it hurt. But you ever notice every generation has that musician that speaks the heart of a generation when it comes to music, and then when they pass away, it just hurts so badly. Like my mother, she grew up loving Queen, and then when I'm having a brain fart here. I'm sorry.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. Thank you. When Freddie Mercury passed away, it broke a generation. For me, it was Lemmy. When Lemmy passed away, that hurt. Yeah, and then a couple of years later, you had Chris Cornell. And in that very year, then you had Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. It was like, son of a, why does this keep happening?
Yeah.
So.
Well, some of those circumstances revolving some of those people are very mysterious deaths, actually. There's some weird shit going on behind Cornell and Chester Benningfield's death.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down, but, I've heard all kinds of trippy stuff, though.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I think the reason why Lemmy and Motorhead was, like you said, like Tyler was saying, was beneficial, so to speak, to everyone is because they transcended the punk scene, the rock and roll scene, the metal scene. So if you're in one of those three scenes, you'll pretty much like Motorhead. And it's like the same way with Johnny Cash. It's like if you're a punk, if you're a metalhead, if you're in the country, you'll like Johnny Cash. It's like,
Motorhead was like the Americana of like rock and roll. They like
right.
Some people like the punk rockers like them, the metalheads like them, the rockers like them. So it's like they're kind of like the universal band that everyone can go to, and you can say whatever you want, but they're just like rock and roll,
Yeah, because rock and roll liked them because it sounded like rock, and the metalheads liked it because it was loud and fast and
heavy.
Certainly heavy.
It was.
And the punks liked them because it was just the drums and even the guitars and the bass lyrics is just all straightforward, like 3-4 chords. And
Lemmy always identified with the punk rockers too. He always said that we're not metal, we're not punk, we're rock and roll, but we embrace both of those communities. And he always did. It was cool, and I'm glad I got to witness Motorhead on several occasions, including the very first tour, man, the Ace of Spades tour.
Wow.
1980. That was in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's one band that I still kick myself with not getting to see.
Oh yeah, same.
Well, I didn't even know what I was getting myself into when I first saw Motorhead, but they was opening it was Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz with Randy Rhoads, and Motorhead was the opening act. And
wow.
No kidding.
Ace of Spades tour, right? So I go there and I'm like, had no clue what I was in for, but I was addicted after that,
I remember it was a couple years ago, Ozzy released a 20th anniversary take of Hellraiser featuring Lemmy. And man, that song, I was like, dude, I love the Ozzy Osbourne version. And then Lemmy did a version himself as well. But that version, I'm like, chef's kiss.
Yeah, when both of them, did it at the same time. That was so
good.
And the video was great too, because it's like that creepy cartoonish anime and
where it's like they're fighting like aliens that are turning people into zombies. And it's like there's so many Easter eggs in that thing. You got the van with Mr. Crowley on the side of it. It's like, oh, this is beautiful. I love it. So
Easter egg.
Do you I can't remember. Were you on any of those locomotive compilations that came out of Peoria?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I was. I don't think so.
I couldn't remember. I could have swore you were, but maybe you
I
weren't.
might have, dude. The thing is, all the stuff that I was on, I had all this big collection of stuff, and all of my stuff was in transition. So we had everything in these storage units, and then we had these big fires came through Oregon and Northern California and Southern Oregon, and all our stuff burned. So
Damn.
I don't know if we were on locomotive or not, to be honest. And it feels stupid for not knowing the answer, but I'm gonna say we weren't.
No, you're fine.
It's
I
fine.
couldn't remember either, so that's why I was asking. You know,
I don't know. I have to look that up sometime. I don't think
that's how I got into a lot of the. Well, of course, like it was said, local bands. You know. 'Cause
yeah, totally.
I went to. What's that one bar that's like down across from the Twin Towers that used to be called Insomnia or something to that effect? But they used to have shows there all the time. You know, I got to see a bunch of local bands there, but
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Well, let's do another song off your album. This is one. I like the Ramones, but this one is superior in every aspect. This song, I heard this, I'm like, I was literally on my way to work one morning, and you live out in Oregon, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois has been getting some subs. I don't know what the weather's like in Illinois, or Oregon. I should know what the weather's like in Illinois, for crying out loud. But Illinois has had like some sub-zero temperatures, and I was literally listening to this in the car, smoking a cigarette, drinking my coffee, and I was almost late for work because I lost track of the time because I was listening to this song on repeat. That's how good this one is. I would say this has got to be a solid number 2 for me. But let's listen to this is you and Gordon Goggs Anthony. This is your version of Chasing the Night. And in my opinion, this is the superior version.
Thank you.
Standing here in front of the mirror, it's gonna be alright tonight. Feeling hot, yeah, I'm on fire. I'm never ever going to tire tonight. It's gonna be alright, chasing the night. It's gonna be alright, chasing the night. Chasing the night. It's gonna be alright. Live my life as I choose. I pay my price, pay my dues. You know I need no alibi. Daytime troubles fading, nights intoxicating. Gonna have it all tonight. That ain't no lie tonight. It's gonna be alright, chasing the night. It's gonna be alright, chasing the night. Chasing the night. It's gonna be alright. Rock all night, sleep all day. It don't matter what they say. Never gonna change my ways, and I won't be back till Monday. Exasperating, excitement generating. I ain't never gonna tire. City is overloading, the circuits are exploding. Ain't coming down, no, I'm too wired tonight. It's gonna be alright, chasing the night. It's gonna be alright, chasing the night. Chasing the night. It's gonna be alright.
yeah, tonight.
Tonight's gonna be alright. Chasing the light.
Gonna be alright.
Chasing the light.
Listen,
Chasing the light.
gonna be alright.
Tonight's
Gonna be alright. Chasing the night. Gonna be alright. Chasing the night. Oh my. Yeah, that's a fun one, man.
That's a good one. That's a, you know what? I know I said rock and roll therapy and baby don't go is good, but that I can't. You literally, your music, I can't decide like which one's my favorite.
Well, that's a good thing.
There's so many tasty flavors in this pack. It's like, which one do you like the most? Can't you like them all? You know?
Yeah, and shout out to Paul Rossler for mixing the entire album for us. That was so cool of him. And
Nice.
Kitten Robot Studio in Los Angeles.
All right. So we're about an hour into the show. How much longer do you want to go on for? Do you want to?
What do you got? What do you still have, man?
I've only got a few more questions, and then we can,
Cool.
All right. So you mentioned earlier the idea of revisiting your old album. We gave you the idea of, you redoing it because you said on a Facebook post, this new album of yours is your final album. How can we get you to revisit the first album? Because all your albums you're proud of, apparently, except for that one. I would say that's the one. That's the one you need to at least say, all right, this is where I hang my hat up on. I fix this. A career of excellence, 40 years. That's where we go.
I don't know, man. I can live with how it is. But, if I were to meet a band of people that say, hey, we're going to re-record this and felt like doing the work, I would do the vocals in a heartbeat. It'd be fun, But yeah, I can live with it. Lyrically and musically, it's fun. It's a fun album. It's just very thinly produced, and the vocals are just not done properly. And it's just one of those things you live when you learn from.
Now, if another band, let's say another band from the Illinois area, let's say Peoria, because that's where you're from, if they asked you, hey, we want to do a cover song of one of your songs, like let's say My Religion Is Love. We'll use that one for example. And they wanted you to be on there, as like backup vocals.
Right.
Would you be okay with that?
Oh, yeah. If somebody approaches me or anybody as an artist or as a musician with a proposition of some kind of fun, creative endeavor, I definitely give it, at least think about it for sure.
So you're okay with the idea of like, helping another band out if they needed it?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, right. Yeah.
I think they're gonna watch later tonight, but there is somebody, when I mentioned to them like I'm interviewing you, and when I gave you your professional name, when I said Derek Moody, they're like, "Is that Bloody F Mess?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Bloody F Mess." They apparently they're from the Peoria area, and he's working tonight. He won't be hearing this. We have a lot of people who watch the show after hours.
Okay.
We're not really like a morning show. We venture more into like the late night show when the people get off work or when they're just waking up or something like that. But chances are somebody might be trying to get in touch with you later on in the week, whenever they hear this about the idea of using one of your songs. There's a small group starting out of Peoria. I don't even think they have a name. They're just trying to get their names out. It's like with you. It's like with your story. They don't even have a name. They're just trying to get their name out there.
Absolutely.
So we'll see if they listen, and then we'll see if they actually get the cojones to ask a rock god for help. We'll say.
Well, we've got the Church of Rock too. So any bands that have good recordings can always hit us up, and we like to play music from other people all around the world.
I'll get you with that one. No, really, because I have an album out and.
Oh yeah, hit me up. Yeah, anyway. For sure. Yeah, get a hold.
Take a listen anyway. If you don't like it, cool.
Yeah, Fat 420 here. He does music too. He writes a little bit of music as well.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to hear it, man.
Yeah, he does a little bit of music. He's in a you're in a band too, aren't you? You're still in a band?
Myself, basically. Just record myself and
Yeah. You're like Dave Moe, the guy on my record that can do his own records without anybody else.
well, it's not that, it's just what I do. People in my area, because I'll say this right now, like what Bloody was saying earlier, music in this area, there used to be punk and hardcore scene and everything, but right now the scene is pretty much cover bands and DJs. That's it. And it's like there are a hit and miss of bands, but there's no offense to this style of music. They're like the new metal type bands.
Yeah.
Which, is cool, but the stuff that I do, it's like you don't hear anybody wanting to do it. So I pretty much just do it myself.
Well, that makes sense. Hell yeah, bro. I want to hear it.
There you go. Send them a copy. So,
absolutely.
Well, let's play one more song off your album, and I will let you choose, Bloody, because you know this out. Obviously, you know this album more than anybody else. What would you like the final song of the interview night to be?
Well, let's see. Boy, how about a song called Dark Daze?
Dark Days. I just saw that a minute ago. Where?
Yeah, with Sammy Town doing the recitation at the beginning and doing the spoken word underneath my vocals. If you listen, you can hear him talking what I'm singing. It's pretty cool.
All right. Here is the final song of the interview. This is, once again, this album. If you guys aren't liking it already, there's something wrong with you. Go out, get this album. It's available on iTunes, and also it's available for download, right? For people who.
Yeah, and I also have CDs for sale. If anyone wants to hit me up on Facebook, just hit me up.
Definitely going to hit you up for a couple CDs.
Yeah, we've got about 120 left. I counted them today.
Well, can you reserve one for me? Because I don't get paid till next Friday.
Yeah, just hit me up, bro. When we're done here, and remind me, and I'll send you get it out to you.
All right. Well, let's get this one pulled up for you. This here is another kick-ass song. This is actually. Was this on my list? Yeah, this was on my list. Another kick-ass song off the album. The whole album's kick-ass, people. What am I kidding? It's a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. I love this album.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir. This is Dark Days.
The Lord will plague you with disease until he has destroyed you from the land you are entering to possess. The Lord will strike you with wasting disease, with fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought.
Take a look around when you're walking through the town, and you'll see that everyone is frowning, and you feel it in the air. Cell phones and vacant stare. The whole fucking world is drowning. Up and down, roller coaster life. Up and down, darkness and light. When you get the time to think of when the ship will sink, will you sit up straight with clarity? When you're in a rubber room, will you learn some gratitude or more denial? Up and down, roller coaster life. Up and down, darkness and light. There are no feelings anymore, but the sun shines when you look at me. Everyone's emotions went out the door. Silence is betrayal. Dark days. Dark days, dark days. Yeah, take a look around when you're walking on the street. The vibe of misery, it's always at your feet. When the sun is going down on every side of town, you start to feel the heat is burning. Up and down, roller coaster life. Up and down, darkness and light. Ignorance and profits, the sad machine. Bad actors on your phone, computer screen. Ignoring evidence, I want to scream. Madmen are in charge. Dark days, dark days, dark days. darkness and light. Dark days, dark days, dark days. Dark days, dark days, dark days.
There you go. That's Dark Days. That song kind of relates to a lot of stuff we're going through right now in this world, I'd say.
Dave Moe on guitar, drums and bass, Sammy Town on vocals, and myself on vocals.
Very, very nice. Very nice, sir. I applaud you. That is a killer album. Again, the album is out currently. It's 420. What can you say about this album?
I like it. Every single song we played so far off of that album, I enjoyed. I think once I hear the rest of it, it sounds like it's going to be one of those albums where you don't skip a track.
It's exactly. It's going to be one of those albums you listen to front to back. And I can't even tell you the last time I listened to an album front and back. Probably
kind of long. It's kind of long. It's like 13 songs. So when you're actually listening to it, the whole thing, it's kind of like, wow, when you're done at the end going, geez, I got my money's worth.
Right.
When I heard it, I was like, I liked every track or whatever, but I was like, wow, what a long album, which is cool. Because usually I feel like they're too short. So I guess it's better to have more than less. So.
Yeah, a lot of albums nowadays are getting too short, and it's like you really don't get your money's worth. I can tell you right now, this is an album you will get your money's worth. Just because the song, from the songs we played tonight, it's one of those albums I could put on, work in the garage, work on the car, get in the car, load up a case of beer, with my fiance, and head out to the lake while blaring this back to back. It's
and it's available on all music platforms via Punk Media and on CD on Fanatic Records, and it's coming out on vinyl on through Ragged Records. So you can contact me under Derek Moody, aka Bloody Mess, on Facebook, and I do have CDs currently for sale if anybody wants to buy some.
Yeah, and if you're wanting to hear his radio show, The Church of Rock, the show begins on KSKQ with Sister Tracy McLeod, the Stampeders, Running Man, and New Ivan Julian. Did I get all that right?
That was last week's show, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking. I had to write all this down. I literally thought that was. I'm sorry. I messed up on that one.
Oh, no problem, bro. But thanks for plugging the radio show.
And here, Helen is even posting it. By all means, plug it. Let's get that show going.
Yes, thank you for doing that, Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Helen from New Zealand.
She's from New Zealand?
I believe she is absolutely from New Zealand. Yes, Helen Forster.
There's a website that you can go on and listen to the Church of Rock. And what are the times of the Church of Rock? What times?
If you're in America, it starts in our time, which is Pacific time at 6 p.m.
Okay,
but it keeps
4 to 6.
Yeah, so depending
4
on
to 6 our time, Tyler.
Yeah, okay. And I'm sorry, what were you saying, Bloody? We didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Where are you guys located at?
We're in Illinois. I'm in Jacksonville. He's actually in Pekin.
So about an 8 p.m. your time on Sundays.
Yes.
Yeah,
or 8 p.m.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
Yeah, that's right. Why am I taking away when I should have added?
It happens.
Well, that tells you what happens when you smoked a lot. So.
Yeah. Whenever, I don't know if you've noticed it, but whenever I had to go, because I've been nervous and I had to go grab a handful of gummies and just guzzle them in. Whenever he cuts his camera off, he's been hitting his. I've been to his house. The bong this guy has looks like something Superman would smoke. I'm not kidding. It is like this crystal-looking thing, and it's like when I first saw it, I was like, I know why they call you Fat 420. Holy shit, that is. He's like, that's just a small one.
I told him lately I've been using sparkling water for the water instead of regular water.
Oh, nice, yummy.
Because the smoke seems to catch in the bubbles, and then when the bubbles pop, it gives an extra boost to a degree.
Okay. Awesome. I'd try it. Hell.
he hit it one night and he's gasping. This is when we're backstage. He hit it one night and he's gasping. He's like, ooh, ooh. And in between coughs, I hear him go, I'm smoking with class, Tyler. I'm like, you can't say that. So but I'll stick with my gummies. I'll stick with my gummies. So
awesome. Hey, man, whatever works for you, you gotta do what you gotta do for you.
Well,
thank
sir,
you guys. Thank you guys so much for the time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity and the privilege. It's been an honor, sir. I'd love to catch base with you later on. I would love to get one of those CDs. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, just hit. We're friends on Facebook, right?
Yes, we are. I'm the one in the military uniform. So
okay. I just get a little confused sometimes.
There's a running joke on the show that where he guards doors.
I only joined the military to guard doors, and well, the other night a door did get away from me, but that's also because it was windy as hell outside. So
just stay away from those Scientology, you'll be okay.
Oh, I'm not planning on jumping on any couches anytime soon. Don't worry. So, the show is the Church of Rock. It's 3 to 5 p.m. Monday.
In New Zealand,
and Helen has all the links for everybody. There's where you can go and listen to the show. Obviously, give it a listen. Trust me, I've been talking to this man for an hour, and I can already tell you right now, this man is an absolute treasure, and I want to keep listening to his show and support his show just as much. So,
yeah, well, thank you guys, and I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your week.
Yep, the album is called Dark Daze and Unfazed. It's out currently. I highly recommend if you
get it,
go out and get it. This is not you
steal it. Just steal it. Whatever you have to do to get it.
Steal it. If you are not my friend, if you don't buy or get this album,
you just have to have it.
It's one of those things where I'm telling you, dude, it's so good you have to get it. So
there you go. Don't steal it. Go to the stores that have it and buy it, please.
Yeah. And if you do go to the store and buy it, go to a local place.
Yes.
Don't go. It probably won't be at Walmart anyway, but
I could give you a list.
To a local place.
You could go to Speakeasy Records in Decatur, Illinois, North Street Records in Normal. You could go to what are the others? Help me out.
Shandy's Music
in Cuba, Illinois.
I believe you said it will be Younger Than Yesterday here soon.
Yeah, I think he said that. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Craig have been talking, and so pretty soon when I can get as soon as he says to send them out. Also, Ragged Records in Davenport, Iowa. They rock.
There you go.
Ragged Records.
If there's people that don't care for physical copies, is there a digital download?
Oh yeah, it's available on every Pandora, iTunes,
iTunes, all those.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, everything you can think of, it's on there.
And if you want,
soon to be on Napster.
No. That's courtesy of Punk. That's on Napster.
What the heck?
Wire.
Yeah, you should. Don't forget to follow me on my MySpace account.
Tom is still your friend. I'll just have everybody know he never left.
And don't forget to add him on your MSN Messenger.
We're going way back to when I was in college. Holy shit! Now you're gonna tell me add him on AOL Chat.
Jordan Longmire was telling me a joke the other day. It's pretty funny. Her name is Beyonce, of course. Beyonce Knowles, who's with Jay-Z.
Uh-huh.
You know what her name was before she was with Jay-Z?
What's that?
Before she married Jay-Z, I should say. Her name was Fiance.
Fiance.
Sorry.
No.
Nice.
We'll take it.
Jordan Longmire.
It's better than his jokes, so.
It's much better than my jokes, believe me. Eric, I think the growing trend on Facebook is tune in for Tyler, stay for 420. Is that what people are saying on our
Pretty
show?
much.
All right. Well, Derek, it has been awesome. Thank you very much, Bloody F Mess. That's it for this interview edition of the Best Damn Podcast. We will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another edition. Until then, I am Tyler. That is the Weed Czar himself, Fat 420. And that is the Music Czar, Bloody F Mess. Go out, buy this album, show me your receipt, or you will not be my friend. And we will catch you all next time. So long, everybody.
Peace. And thank you very much to the universal fans of the Bay City Rollers and Skies Are Black.
Woo!
Peace, love, and rock and roll, y'all.
Rock and roll, guys.